your name, business name, and where you're located at.
Yeah, this is the very beginning. Dang, you messed up, Jorge. Um, my name's Trevor, Trevor Violet. I live in Massachusetts. Um, my business is called Kingdom Come Dog Training. I train dogs and I make them happy, and I make their owners happy too. So.
Nice, nice. I love that. And what type of training do you specialize in?
So for the most part, I do private, like one-on-one training. So I go to people's homes or we meet at a destination, whether it be like a park or something like that. And we do 1 hour sessions. So I train the people more than I train the dogs. I like to say that it's that common saying, I don't train dogs, I train people to speak dogs. So I am hands-on portion of the training, but I like to teach the people because a dog can be great for me, but that doesn't matter. It's not my dog. I can take the
Mhm.
leash for a little bit with a non-trained dog, make the dog look good, and give it to the owner, and they don't know what they're doing, or vice versa. If you give a well-trained dog to an inexperienced handler, it's going to look like that dog has no training. So
Mhm.
I definitely like to focus on the people, make sure the people are understanding, how to operate, how to, whether it be hold the leash right or, how to mark a behavior or whatever it is. I watch. I'm more of a spectator within my training. I'll show them and demonstrate, and that's all I do. And then I teach them and make sure that they have it down. I do offer a day train program. Haven't really done much of that recently because I haven't had the clientele or the capacity to, because I I don't have a facility or anything like that. So and I drive a Honda Civic, so I can't fit five
Mhm.
dogs in the car. But I did do a day train program not too long ago with this 7-year-old Pitweiler. So I do that on occasion if the dog needs it, right? If the dog
Mhm.
is, whether it be super aggressive or it doesn't know a dang thing or the people don't have time or whatever the case is, take the dog for like 5 hours and then bring it home, do like a go home session. But not a huge fan of the board and train model just
Mhm.
because, like I said, if I take a dog and train it for 2 weeks, yeah, the dog's going to be great for me, but the owners don't know a thing. So,
Yeah.
um, later on in the future, if I do get a facility, which I plan on it at some point, I will offer a board and train, but it's going to be very, very owner hands-on. So it's going to be like, yeah, I'll take your dog, but you're going to be here every other day doing like a 2 hour session. So that way, you're getting everything the dog is getting as well. Um, but I'll figure that out when I get down there. So.
That's awesome, bro. You're what I needed, bro. Because I took my dog for a 3 week boarding train. I paid a lot of money for that, and I probably only got like max 15 to 20 minutes of what I was supposed to do. And yeah, this trainer gave me homework. Yes, I do take full responsibility for not doing the homework, but like after talking to you and a lot of trainers, they're like very hands-on with the person, So I was like, I wish I had that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's a like a selling point too. Like when I'm talking to people, I actually, now that I think of it too, a lot of my current clients are you. They have
Mhm.
spent $5,000 on a 6 week board and train or whatever, and their dog's still a menace. And it's still, whether it be resource guarding or dog reactivity or, just even pulling on the leash, like the basics, like just
Yeah,
random.
yeah.
So like the dog won't sit and stay. Like it's just random stuff, but it's like, yeah, I paid this much money, sent my dog away for 6 weeks and nothing, I didn't get anything. I got an hour and the dog
Mhm.
got, however many hours they train in a day. And it's just like, I don't know. I get why trainers run that model, it's very lucrative. Um,
Mhm.
but I don't know. It's just not my speed. I would rather it's funny, I got into dog training too because I'm like I don't want to I don't like people, and with most of the people I bet you a lot of your clients and stuff are like that. Like, oh, I don't like people, I'll just train dogs. And then you just become a teacher and then you're teaching people and it's like it's awesome. Like I love it and I think I'm really good at it. I mean, when I was in what year was it? I think my freshman year, I had an English teacher, Miss McDonald, and she was like, "You're gonna be a great teacher one day." And I was like, "Hell no! I ain't teaching. I hate school like that type of kid." And then look where I'm at today. I'm teaching people how to train their dogs. So, um, yeah,
That's cool. That's cool. So what would you say like your biggest struggles before joining, Canine Conversions?
Um, so I mean, biggest struggle um was probably more so getting my name out there or getting leads because I mean I was fairly new. So like
Hmm.
when I started working with you guys, I was fairly new at the whole run your own business thing. Like I had done
Hmm.
like, I'll train my dog or I'll train your dog for this much money, da da da, like word of mouth type of marketing. I didn't really have a brand or anything like that. I was more so like just like what do you call it? Like freelancing.
Hmm.
I had been in the dog industry for a while already, so I knew some people that I could contact and people that knew people, so it was very much so like a word of mouth thing. Um,
Hmm.
and that getting your name out there, if you're just doing word of mouth, is a lot harder when you work a full-time job, when you don't have the time to or the capacity to put in a bunch of effort where you go to daycares and go to veterinary offices and like try to get your name
Hmm.
out there physically. You just don't have that capability. So I was just working 40 hours a week, and if a person said they needed training, or the PetSmart training wasn't working for them, then I'd be like,
Hmm.
hey, here's my number. I do training outside the store too, type of thing. So that
Nice.
was that was like the only clients I was really getting to start, was just people that were like, oh yeah, like we'll do training outside the store. And I was like, okay, let's do it.
Nice. Nice, nice. And then I mean, then you ran your own ads, bro. And then you got some clients like that.
Hell yeah, it's quick. It's quick scheme. You don't, and it's funny too, because like you just don't even think it's real. Like I mentioned that before. Like all these people coming in, I'm like, yeah, but like, how qualified are they going to be? Like, are they
Hmm.
going to actually sign up with me? Like, I didn't really have like too much, sales training or experience until you
Hmm.
guys, I guess. I had done like a while back when I first started doing like nutrition coaching. I had done like an inbound closer type of training thing, and I paid a bunch of money, and then I didn't really do much with it anyways. So, but being in the fitness industry, I managed some gyms and stuff, so I had sales training from them, like how to sell
Hmm.
memberships and stuff like that, and I was top of my game doing that
Nice.
stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I kind of, knew the demeanor, we have to have, I guess, for as far as like sales go. You need to really, believe in what you have to offer, and you really need to present yourself like you know what you're doing and stuff. Because I think a lot of people will just like, oh, if they don't want the training, they don't want the training, whatever. And it's
Hmm.
like, no, you have to. They want their training. Like they contacted you. They want it. You just gotta make sure that they want you to do the training and not somebody else. So
Hmm.
I'd say biggest struggles were leads and then sales for sure. Like getting the right training, so to speak, as far as like how to sell a dog training program. Because like I said, I could sell a Planet Fitness membership like the back of my hand. Like I knew the script and everything. I could take someone on a tour and get them signed up in the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
I wouldn't have people be like, "Oh, let me think about it." Like I was pretty good at my job as far as that went. So just
Hmm.
learning how to do it with my own program and a lot more money, not a $20 gym membership, was
Yeah,
definitely something I needed to
yeah.
figure out because I could go there and as soon as I'd choke up when I want to say the price. I'd be like, oh, it's this much. And then you could see just their face go from like, oh yeah, I'm super interested into holy crap, that's a lot of money. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, how do you think like the sales training, the sales resources, bringing on, other like, you know, high level people that been already like, experienced not only in the dog niche space, but like outside of that, like how do you feel like that has helped you with, with what you're doing?
I think yeah, for one, seeing people do exactly what I want to do is like
Mhm.
super motivating for one. Like it's funny, me and my wife have this inside joke. We always talk about, oh, north of 40 million, because Mike Barron's like testimony on your page or whatever on the Canine Conversions page. So So we're always like peak mental state north of 40 million. We always like before calls. So it's like seeing him and stuff. And I can relate to Mike. Like he's the type of people I like to like hang around. Like just like funny, like what grew up in a situation where they probably weren't around the best people and stuff. Like I grew up in
Mhm.
a town where I was like one of the only white kids, right? I was white boy.
Mhm.
That's like kind of how I grew up. So
Mhm.
those are like the type of people I relate with a lot. And like seeing that and then seeing Josh and seeing like Josh is literally like what I want to do, right? It's like physically it's like, all right, I want to train a bunch of dogs. I want to make this much money. I want to have a facility. Like I want to do all that stuff. So seeing those types of people and even Keith, like I actually before I signed on with you guys, I had a call scheduled with Incline, or I think so,
Mhm.
right? Incline Canine
Yeah,
Academy.
yeah,
I had a call with them scheduled, and then I I booked a call with you guys, and Ryan called me right when I booked. So he caught me right before I was supposed to have the call with them. So like, and obviously like speaking with Ryan and stuff too, it was like, okay, this is like real. Like this is not no, fake. Like I'm gonna get scammed because I had got scammed before. It's not
Mhm.
hard to get scammed these days.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
everything seems real, and then your credit card information is gone, and boom, your money's stolen. So,
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
but seeing people do what I want to do is motivating, and then them being around and present too. Like I having that community where like I can give Josh a call right now and he'll answer and chat with me is like that's awesome. Like all the like I remember when I first signed on and I did my first mastermind, I connected with Josh, I connected with Lynn, and then a couple weeks later, I connected with was it Matt Gung Ho?
Oh, Cody Gun,
Cody,
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 Cody.
Cody. I
Yeah, yeah,
totally
yeah.
forgot his name. But I connected with Cody because I had seen your guys's conversation that you posted or whatever, and he's obviously a man of faith as well. So I had contacted him and we got to chatting as well. And it's just yeah, just having those people is like just motivating in itself because they've already done what you want to do. So
Mhm.
it's easy. It's easy to be like to relate and also be like, this is gonna be me not one day. Not this could be me one day, but this is going to be me one day.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Dang, that's awesome. That's awesome. And what do you, so like, I know you just like mentioned a lot, but what do you feel like it's, like, what part of the system do you feel like has helped you like the most? Because for me, I don't really like to think of Canine Conversion as like an ad agency because I feel like we do more, you know? So it's like the word agency, like, I don't like it, but we do run ads, you know?
I
Um,
know what word would you use actually to
I,
describe
I,
you guys? Because
I have
because I've
no,
told people that oh I work with an ad agency, but I don't like saying that either because that's
yeah,
not what you guys are,
yeah, I was like, I don't know, I just, program, I guess, the Canine Conversions program. I don't know, but I don't know exactly what, you know.
We got to find a word.
Yeah, we got to find a word. I've been like I had the last four calls people have been saying you guys are more like a partnership than an agency, you know? So
Yeah.
it's like that's what they say. But I
Yeah, but it's
haven't
like, but still, what do you? It's like, all right, I'm partnered with Canine Conversions. They're a blank, like you still need something.
yeah, I gotta think about that one. But like, yeah, what part of, the whole entire system do you feel like that has helped you the most?
Um, I want to say, um, I'd probably say the 5.1, 5.1 and 5.2 like training,
Hmm.
because I've watched that a ton of times and I definitely accredit a lot of that training to what had gotten me from the $8,000 month to the $16,000 month is like, all right, really
Hmm.
honing in on making sure I'm in peak mental state and, making
Hmm.
sure like I'm figuring out like what these people's issues are and, you know, being able to not only because we have our scripts and whatnot, but I don't even necessarily follow them. It's more so like the structure of how to have a conversation on the phone to get someone to want to work with you no matter the price. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
because I'm horrible on the phone. At least I have been, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm good now because of the training. Like if you heard my first recorded call versus my recorded calls now, it's like black and white, dude. So it's I think that has probably been the most impactful is the sales training. But uh I guess I guess having the masterminds as well, like those are helpful because it's like a constant, like I look forward to them. Like I'm
Mhm.
like I try not to schedule sessions specifically so I can be in the masterminds with everybody because those are super helpful too because then you can hear, people's perspectives that deal with the same issues that you do. So having the the masterminds, the community, having Ryan on Thursdays to talk about sales and
Mhm.
even the whole like now that we do the whole submit the calls thing, like if we go over a call, it's like I remember I sent one call in, we went over it, and he told me, "Oh, do this better, do this better, this better." And then the following week, I sent another one in where I did all those things better, and it was a sale. I closed a pretty big deal, and it was like, okay, like all right, I gotta listen to Ryan more, pay attention more. So
Mhm.
I think the sales training for one, and then the community and masterminds probably
Mhm.
or have been the most impactful.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, bro, I mean, you're doing the work, man. You're watching and rewatching and studying 5.1 and 5.2. And
Oh
and
yeah, when I started, I watched that thing like probably like 3 or 4 times at least. I think,
Mhm.
and that like literally that first week, it was just like on repeat. And then I would, it's funny because I was working at PetSmart and not training dogs, so that's what I was doing was just walking around stocking shelves with an AirPod, listening to 5.1 and 5.2. Like I'm gonna do this one day. I'll be out of here one day. And then it came in no time, like literally a month, and I was out, and I was like, this is freaking crazy. Like, how is this even, possible? So, yeah, listening to them
Nice.
on repeat. And I actually want to listen to them again because I haven't in a little while, but only because I've been so busy for one.
Mhm.
And I've been making sales and making good money and I'm doing the things. So it's like, yeah, I could go back and I know I'm gonna get something I didn't get from it like beforehand. Because when I
Mhm.
was
Mhm.
listening initially, I would learn a thing or two extra, whether it be about like closing them or really honing in on their ideal scene and getting them or their current scene versus their ideal scene and like doing those things. Like I know there's like just like little tidbits that like blow over, like go over your head the first like time or two, and then you go in for a third or fourth time and you're like, oh, I didn't catch that. I
Yeah.
didn't catch that last time. So like
Yeah.
the whole, what's funny is the one, I forget what video or what, where it was at. It was Mike taking the call from like a kid who sent them the number or whatever and was like, I can't, this one of this person's not gonna answer, they're just gonna hang up on you. And then he's just like, hey, it's Mike. Like just super funny. And like I do that now. I find myself doing
Mhm.
that. I'm like, hey, it's Trevor. Like, and they're like, okay. And I'm like, oh, I'm with Kingdom Come Dog Training. I saw you signed up for the thing. And they're like, oh yeah, and it becomes like a personal thing. It's not a sales call. Like, and I'm not even trying to sell them anything. So it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, just like little stuff like that when you rewatch it is like, all right, I'm gonna implement that, and then you implement it and you see like the difference between what it was when you weren't implementing that. And
Yeah.
I get lazy, and I have my wife watch it. She's probably watched 5.1 and 5.2 twice, but now that I'm her boss, I'm gonna make her watch it again. So
Dude, yeah, no matter what level you're at, like even Josh still listens to that till this day. Like we literally just assigned 5.1 and 5.2 literally to the entire team at Canine. Like, all right, we got to rewatch this. So it's just one of those things where it's, you know, Ruli. Do you know who Ruli is? Or no?
I feel like I've heard it before.
Okay.
Heard his, yeah.
Ruli is Mike Barron's top producer in his company.
Oh, is it the young kid?
No, no, no. He's like one of the oldest ones right there. I think the
Okay.
young kid like left. He has watched like without exaggeration, like 5.1 and 5.2 at least 100 times. And like any little chance in the car while he's like doing whatever, he's just listening to that. And he's like, and I remember I interviewed him once and I told him like, what's that one advice that you would give people, who have like the sales training? And he's like, 5.1 and 5.2, like no matter where you at in life, and even if you're, doing big and already making 100K, like, 100K months and stuff, like you just gotta keep watching that. And for me, I was just that's the reason why. till this day, like Ryan still watches it, like all my setters and closers still like watches that, and it's gonna be like even if we have $1 million months, like we're still gonna be watching that, because it's so the knowledge right there is so crazy, and the way that Mike positions everything, dude, dude, it's like chess, bro. And I didn't realize that sales was like that until like, a few years ago, because I used to run Mike's ads, but I never really got into sales. And that was my missing piece too, was like the sales aspect of it until like I learned 5.1 and 5.2, and it was just like a game changer after that.
Yeah, I think, and this just popped into my mind. I remember because we have our script or whatever, and I can take a call now. I don't need to look at a script. I don't need to.
Mhm.
I already know what I'm gonna say. Like
Mhm.
even no matter what the situation is, the dog, the person, whatever. Granted, there's a little bit of variance depending on the person's attitude and whatnot and who they are,
Yeah.
but your points that you're hitting are always going to be the same. I always do a great introduction. I do your fact finding. The moment you find a gem, you jump into that, or
Mhm.
you press on what's going on currently, and then show them, okay, if this wasn't gonna, if these issues weren't happening, what would your life be like, and they're like, oh, totally better, and da da da, and you get them from this point of like, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, I'm stressed. But if those didn't exist, that's great. I'd be better, life would be more enjoyable, whatever the case is. And I sit here and I'll be on a call and I'll be on a call when I'm driving a lot of the times. And
Mhm.
I'll just like know what to say before they even finish what they're saying. Like I'm just like I hear how they're talking or what they're about to say, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna say this next. And it's like it's chess. It's like what your moves are gonna be. And I'm
Mhm.
trying to get my wife to that point, but she's new to it, obviously, as I was when I
Yeah.
started. But she's super good on the phone. Like personality is like awesome. Like they're
Mhm.
like people want to talk to her. She just has to get to the point where she doesn't need to think. She can just be like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm gonna say this and that. Because I can tell I hear a lot of her calls. Like she'll take a call when I'm driving, or she'll do a call when I'm around, and I'll hear her go through the call, and then she has her own type of script that she'll follow, and she does good with that, but she definitely could um not necessarily improve, but get to a point where she just like knows what she's gonna say when people say certain things like, all right, this and that, if someone says this, I'm gonna say that. If someone says this, I'm gonna say that. To like wrap the calls up quicker. Because I have noticed like her calls will go a little bit longer than mine. Or I can go in a call in like 10 minutes now. Because I'm like, the moment someone says something, I'm like, oh yeah, that's great and all. But like let's, all right, let's look at the calendar, whatever. I
Mhm.
have noticed like my if I could would use happen at minute 10 now instead of like minute 18 where because the whole what it is, it's the whole getting out of the woods thing.
Mhm.
Like she gets in the woods a lot and people will just yap yap and she'll look at me like this person doesn't shut up, and it's like, yeah, but like you're trying to make sales, like people want
Mhm.
to talk to you for one, you just have to control the situation. And now with her not working, she's calling leads as opposed to calling people that are already self-booked. So
Mhm.
she has found herself a lot more comfortable. She big win the other day. She called like 20 something leads, scheduled like 3 transformation sessions, and scheduled like 3 more calls or something like that for the week. And I'm like so booked up
Mhm.
this week. Like this week is gonna be ridiculous. And it's just from like 2 days of her like making calls. So
Damn.
she feels a sense of authority when she's just calling people like, hey, this is Sydney from Kingdom Come Dog Training, like, do you have time to chat real quick, as opposed to like they scheduled their own call and she's calling them because they scheduled a call. It's and
Yeah,
as
yeah,
opposed
yeah.
to her just calling them, you know what I mean? She's doing good with that as well. So as time goes on, she's going to get better, and I'm going to get better too. We're always just trying to get better. So
Yeah, always 100%. Is there what kind of, revenue or sales growth have you seen since like, joining and being in the community and having the ads run and pretty much just everything?
well, for one, my income 5x, so that's great. From 3,000 to 16,000 in 2 months
Uh-huh.
is that's yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. But from month one, so I mean, month one in business when I ran my own ads, like I said, I made that 8K, and that was like a big jump for me. I'd never make that much money ever in my life. So I was
Hmm.
like, this is pretty cool. And then, starting to work with you guys, you guys got me, hooked up with school and with the training and all that stuff. And I go through the training, and we weren't even running ads still. We didn't run ads together in our first month until halfway through the month, I believe. So we only did like 2 weeks of ads because you guys were still setting up the CRM and doing all that stuff. So, but with the training alone and me running my own ads, I went from 8K to nearly 13. So just the training alone, almost 2x that. So
Hmm.
like that's just to show what the training can do is immediately I go through the training, I'm watching 5.1, 5.12, and boom, I quit my job that month, like because of how good, how much growth it allowed me to do as far as revenue. So um
Yeah.
I mean, and we're still growing, this, like I just said, like this month is like the next 2 weeks. I don't have a session. I can't book a session right now until like the last week of October because I'm so booked out. So so it's working, and then, I have a goal this month to hit that 20K mark. And I mean, as you know, last month my Facebook got hacked, so I missed
Yeah.
a week last month, but I still made 16. So it's like if I had that extra week last month, I probably would have hit the 20. So this week is, I mean, this month is definitely, we got goals set and expectations to meet. And if we don't meet them, I'll still be happy because,
Yeah.
it's whatever. I know we'll hit those 20K months, especially with, going through the placement services right now and trying to get someone to do the calls. And we're trying to organize. We're not business owners, we're so new to it.
Yeah.
It's like we're still figuring it out. Like I
Yeah.
she just started to, be like my VA. So and I've been doing all the appointment setting, all the training. Like I've been doing everything myself. And
Hmm.
it's like you do it all yourself and you make, 12,000, 15,000, whatever. If you have a team around you that you guys are providing, through the placement services and stuff, it's definitely just gonna make things a lot easier, take a lot of stress off my back, and make more money. So it's like I'm looking forward to that. I think the next couple of months we'll see that revenue increase a little bit more too. Um,
Yeah.
Granted, we haven't been in business through the winter yet up here, so we'll see how people, want to do training when it's snowing out up here and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. I did just increase my prices as well because,
Nice.
supply and demand. So
Hmm.
uh, I increased them, so I think that'll help as well. But we got a lot of transformation sessions booked this month. So I think last month we had 17, and
Hmm.
that's where we hit, that 15, $16,000 mark. I think this month right now we haven't even had. I've had like two or three. I think right now I'm at like only like 4K this month, which
Hmm.
is fine. Still more than I was making at my full-time job. So this month I want to see if we can get at least 20 transformation sessions and make a little bit more than we made last month. That's kind of the goal we have. Um,
Nice.
20K would be great, but I'm not going to be like, oh, I didn't hit 20K. I'm pissed. Canine
Yeah.
conversions
Yeah.
doesn't work.
No, that's something that we have to have for like another conversation. It's like, you know, tracking certain metrics and numbers, knowing what's your contact rate, what's your show up rate, what's your
Well,
closing rate.
my close rate was 58% last month. So,
Oh, okay. So you have that. Okay.
well, I try like,
Uh-huh.
my wife is a spreadsheet maniac, so
That's
she
good. Oh, that's good. That's good.
yeah. Oh, it's the best, dude. She does our whole budget. We have like our finances combined and everything. So like she just takes care of all the bills and stuff, And now it's like, all right, I go make the money and you can do all that stuff, it's fine. Uh, so
Nice.
we can look at, all right, we made this much money last month. This is how many transformation sessions we did. This is how many calls we did. So we can calculate that stuff. We're not obviously the best at it. We're so new to this, but it's
Hmm.
definitely something I want to do, right? Alex Ramosi talks about it all the time. Like, how you going to know how to increase your income if you don't, or your revenue if you don't know,
Hmm.
where you're lacking, like whether it be your show rate or your close rate or whatever it is. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we did the close rate last month because we, all right, 17 transformation sessions. this many were sold. I think it was 10 clients were sold or something like that out
Okay,
of
nice.
the 17. So and then we so that was around like 58.8% or something like that. So
Nice, nice. Do you know your ROAS? Your return on ad
um
spend?
yeah, I do. If I pulled it up right now, I could show you. I think
17x.
yeah, because
I did the math on yours. I did the math on Ali Mahin. I did the math on
oh,
Lance
17x is ROAS.
Yeah, the 17.
Wow.
I did it for there's a few that I like. I did it because like it helps me. So I'm the same way, dude. I'm like a huge numbers guy, So it's like I like to track, like what's working with how much is client worth to you. How much are you paying to acquire a client? What's the ROAS? And it just makes it easier to make logical decisions rather than like, oh, should I do this or should I do that? Like you have raw data saying like I know if I start, let's say for example, if I scale the ads for like $300 more, like you can do the equation, and
Yeah.
you can,
Yeah, I've
yeah.
been trying to to track like, all right, this is, gross income, this is net income, this is what ad spend is, this is what the overhead is. I try to calculate that
Mhm.
month to month. I'm not the best at it. And like I said,
Mhm.
my wife does the spreadsheet stuff, so we'll have her, do that stuff at some point, and keep up with it on a month to month or a day-to-day basis rather. So that way, we have those numbers because I do, you want those numbers so you can see like where you need to improve and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
But I look at our ads manager and I'm like, all right, this month I spent this much on ads and I made this much. So whatever that is, then that's your,
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you're spending, I mean, if I spend $5 on a lead and close them for $2,000, it's like, it's pretty crazy. I mean, so wild. Like,
Yeah, dude, that's why I love Facebook ads, dude, because it's a just a predictable way to just print cash, like that's what we're doing, we're
yeah,
putting X amount and we're getting X, Y, like Y back,
yeah.
All right, cool. So dude, I know I'm taking a lot of your time, bro. I just got like a few more questions. So if another dog trainer is on the fence about working with us, like what would you tell them?
Do it
Do
now, yesterday. Dude,
it.
if you're someone who whether you're new to it, you've never trained dogs before, or you have an established business, or you're thinking about being a dog trainer, contact Canine Conversions. I think where I was at in my career, we'll call it. This is crazy, like just so crazy. I'm just like having like a eureka moment. I'm just like, this is wild. But like I had never, not to say I've never trained a dog, but like I never ran a profitable business on my own, for one. I did the music thing, I did the nutrition coaching, I used to paint shoes, I did the personal training, I was doing so much things. I was, trying to take as many swings as I could get at bat, and none of them, I wasn't hitting any home runs. And then, the magic canine conversions ball was pitched, and hit a home run. But being where I was in my career, a new dog trainer who had just started his business, was working as a dog trainer at PetSmart 40 hours a week, and then just taking that leap of faith where it's like, all right, I'm gonna trust these people. And then the return on investment was, tenfold. So it's like, if you're someone who wants to quit your job and doesn't want to work full-time job, you want to work for yourself, you want to support your family, you want to have your wife quit her job, you want to, you know have the freedom to make your own schedule. You're someone who even if you're not a dog trainer, man, you guys should just run ads for everybody. I know you do it for Limelight and Mike, but like even like if you're just someone who runs a business, like go watch Jorge's video, get his mini course. Like it'll save your life, like for real. But I would just tell them to do it now. Don't wait, if you want something, it's like Mike says, like he at Christmas he couldn't sleep, right? He couldn't sleep
Mhm.
because he want to wake, and this is me too. Like I related to this. Like when when it's Christmas, I can't sleep because I'm so excited for the next day, because I know, presents and stuff are going to come. And when you want something, you want it now. If you
Yep.
want the freedom, if you want to, you know, run your own business, or take your income to the next level, or retire your family, or whatever the case is, whatever you want it now, you don't want to wait. So do it now. Just get in there, take the leap of faith. Don't dip your toes in the water. Don't try to see how cold the water is. Just dive right in, and you're gonna come out the other side, in a better space than you were before. Speaking from personal experience, like
Yeah.
I was working full-time job. I was struggling. I hated where I was at, and then I was just like, oh, these people want to help. Let's find out. And then you jump in the water, and you find out you can swim, and it's been a blessing. So
Nice. Nice, nice. I love that. I love that. And I mean, you pretty much just answered my last question, which was, so you would definitely recommend someone okay with for K9?
yeah. Oh yeah, there's no other. I told you I had talked to two other companies, and you guys exceeded expectations as far as like what I was even looking for. Like, even
Mhm.
I didn't even know what I was looking for, but you guys knew what I was looking for. Like I was just like, man, I'm trying to make some money, and you guys like, you need this, 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 and that, and then you gave it
Mhm.
all to me, and then it's like, all right, now you can, it's not just like, all right, you need this, this, and that. Here it is. Figure it out. It's, you need this, this, and that. Let me show you how to do this. Let me give you the tools to do this. Let me do this for you. And then that's what's really, enveloped me into, what you guys do, because you can't do it alone.
Mhm.
You need a tribe, you need a community to kind of help you guys. And that's, you guys provided not only the community, but the training, the knowledge and wisdom of how to do things,
Mhm.
and 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 even doing things for us. Like, that's just like so helpful.
Mhm.
People most people that fail, I think, when they're pursuing a business, or really anything, is because they don't have the help that they need. And
Yeah.
you guys give us the help that we need. And you guys practically do it for $0, if I'm being honest, because of like what we do. It's like, it's like, it's nothing. It
Mhm.
doesn't even compare to like, you pay this, but you get like, it's so much more than what you're paying for. It doesn't make sense. It's not real.